Ah, bonjour, Monsieur Bob. Comment ça va?
Muy bien, et tu?
Muy bien.
Sorry. My French is lousy, my Spanish is even worse. So 109 nautical miles in the last 24 hours, and we're very, very pleased because we're back to our planning average.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! Hurrah! 109 nautical miles. And all of it made good towards our destination. We're very, very pleased by that. So the last 24 hours has really been a story of bringing the boat onto almost a dead run downwind, which resulted us in having to pole out to starboard. And then the wind started going back round to the north again, which is a bit of a pain because it meant that in the middle of the night we had to essentially jibe the boat and then get the pole down and then put another pole out and then drag the head sail back across. So essentially run-pole-gybe-pole. And right at the moment we are poled out. We're on a port tack, bowling down into the mouth of the English Channel. We have Land's End off to our left, and we have Brest and I guess Luchon, I think that's how you pronounce it, off to the right. The French will probably say a different pronunciation, but essentially France to the right and England to the left, directly ahead of us. Of course we can't see them yet because they're some distance away. And this last period has also been a story of visitors. We started out with a couple of dolphins. They actually came to play this morning. We were going very languidly, we weren't travelling very fast at the time, and normally dolphins come and they do a yee-haw, yee-haw thing. But these ones just came up alongside us, had a look at the bow. Well, there's not much interest in that, it's not very fast, not very dynamic. And so they just came up alongside us and they're just lazing along, la-di-da-di-da, almost waving their fins at us. So very funny, very pretty. And then we saw a ship, which is not quite the first ship that we've seen since we've been at sea, but it's not far off it. And I was like, oh my god, there's a ship. Goodness gracious. And thereafter we've seen a bunch of ships. We've also seen a couple of very nice gulls came to play. There was the, what was it, the yellow-headed poopy bird. Beautiful yellow-headed bird that came along, about the size of a gull. I didn't see it.
Yes.
The size of a gull. About the size of a gull, came along and went around the boat and then dropped himself in the water and did a poop and then gave himself a good cleaning and then flew off again. So very nice. And then after that, a tiny little finch, actually over the last hour or so, a teeny little yellow finch or something like that. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but a beautiful little thing, yellow and brown.
He's still on the deck. I'll just see if I can get a
still on the deck
view
forward.
of him. Let's just have a look.
It'll be teeny tiny. Can you see him?
Oh, you might be able to see him. Just
yeah, he's just to the right of the red thing. Just to the right of the hostage up on the bow, the tied up hostage. There's a beautiful little birdie. So I've been sneaking around the deck trying to take photographs. Trying to take photographs of the bird. And managed to get a few good ones. At least I hope they're good ones. Certainly close up ones. So you allowed me to get very close. So up close and personal. And just now, when we were just about to come up here, he was sat here and he was looking down at us. He was just saying, what's going on down there then? So he came to see us. And then again, about 20 minutes ago, we had a sailing boat went past us. And the sailing boat is Boss, B-O-S-S. So that's it's a Maxi 60 or a, whatever they call these things. Maybe an America's Cup boat. We'll have to have a check of that. But he whizzed past us at about 11 or 12 knots. Quite sure he can go faster than that. Those boats can do 20 to 30 knots. Scooting across north to south. So closest sailing yacht we've come across since we left the Azores. So you've got to turn the top dial so it's on that other setting, the one we've been using for animals. So push the flash down and take more pictures where it gets too far. You can zoom in. The other visitor that we've had, of course, has been the weather. English weather. I'm not wearing sunglasses because it's necessarily sunny. I'm wearing sunglasses because I look so darn tired. But it's been English weather, so it's been very grey. It's a little bit bright at the moment. It's been very grey, very chill, a sort of permeating chill that gets into your bones that we remember so well from our days when we used to live in England. And then, of course, it's been all the other ships that I mentioned. And right at the moment, we've got an AIS receiver on here. We have 16 ships registered on that AIS receiver, so within about a 30-mile radius of us, albeit we can't see any in our horizon, there are about 16 ships out there, and probably more because there'll be others that don't have the AIS switched on or they don't have it fitted. So when you look at the English Channel ahead of us, it makes you realise that there must be hundreds and hundreds of ships in the English Channel. It'd be interesting to know how many at one time. It wouldn't surprise me if there's as many as 1,000 ships out there one way and another. It's just a clutter of ships. And because of that, we're having to keep a pretty diligent deck watch. On the ocean, there's a tendency to pop below, have a cup of tea, come up, have a look around, have a little snooze up here or whatever. But over this coming 2 days, our last 2 days before we get into Cherbourg, we're going to have to be very, very diligent with it. And of course that means we're already tired. It means we tend to arrive tired, and I think people at the end of these long ocean passages, that's exactly the way that they tend to arrive, unless they're a fully crewed yacht. You know, on a short-handed yacht, I'm pretty certain it's the case. So the only other news I have at the moment is we had porridge again for breakfast, which means we had porridge pretty much every day. Porridge with some sultanas and a little bit of honey drizzled on there, and I have some peanut butter and Nikki has some almond butter, and it's a great way to start the day. Whoever would have thought it? Porridge, fantastic. And right at the moment, because it's largely about the food, we have a very nice chicken stew cooking down below, and it smells absolutely lish. It smells gorgeous. So that's just simmering gently. We've reached a point with the weather where we can actually cook properly again. And when I say we,
that's the royal we.
I don't necessarily mean we as a couple, as a pair, because Nikki does pretty exclusively all of the cooking on this yacht, certainly at sea. And we shall look forward to having that later on. We shall feast and dine in palatial elegance, and we might have a port and lemon, a little bit of port and a snifter of lemonade. Nice. So that's really all the news today. We have a little birdie on the boat. We have a cat down below, fast asleep, totally unawares, as usual.
Sorry, I just dropped the camera down low because he flew by.
Right. We have a cat down below. We have a stowaway bird on deck. We have a cat down below in idle repose, sleeping the day away. And we figure that he's probably slept 90% of the time that we've been at sea. And there's the bird. And on that note, I shall leave you. We shall leave you. See you tomorrow.
Oh, sorry.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow. Bye. And the day before yesterday, in a bit of rough weather, we took a bit of a hit over the poop deck here, and which washed away. Mentioned it yesterday. Washed away a couple of cans. But we saved them, we retrieved them, and it also bent the life ring, the life ring holder, and you can have a look at that right now because it's still bent. I haven't straightened it up properly yet. There it is.